My goal is to build a much bigger Conservative Party that includes Canadians.
So how's your campaign?
The campaign's going really well. We worked hard till yesterday night to sign up new party members, and I'm thrilled at the results. We signed up thousands of new party members who are going to come out and support us in this leadership race, so we're very, very excited.
Are you confident? Are you confident?
Yes, we're very confident. You know, we exceeded our membership target goals. We've signed up at least 10,000 new party members, and we're thrilled about that. In fact, we've signed up many more than that. We're just in the process of accounting and auditing the number of people we signed up, and we hope to have those numbers finalized in the coming weeks.
So what do you get during this election process, except tithe?
Well, we've got the people will receive a mail-in ballot at the end of April, and they'll be able to vote beginning at the end of April, and we're optimistic that we can win this leadership race.
I mean, your personal experience, like getting into the race.
Yeah, it's been a very long leadership race. I started May of last year. So I've been campaigning for 10 months now, and it's been a wonderful race. I've met people from across the country, people in all regions of the country, and people from all different communities. Met people in the Chinese community, the Korean community, people from various communities up across this country. So it's been very, very exciting, and we're happy to be in the race.
If you get elected as a leader, you'll be able to unite the party and fight for the next election.
Absolutely. I believe in building a big tent Conservative Party that includes social conservatives, fiscal conservatives, democratic reformers, libertarians, and progressive conservatives. And that's the kind of party I want to build. And if I become leader, that's the kind of party we will build. Thank you.
Michael, can I take a picture of you?
One more. I'm Michael Chong, and I'm from Fergus, Ontario, which is a small town about an hour and a half west of here. And I live there with my wife and our 3 children on a farm just between Fergus and Guelph. And I tell you that because I think the next leader of our party needs to understand the challenges of raising a young family, especially in a rapidly changing time where things seem to change ever more quickly than they did before. And I also think we need a leader who understands rural and agricultural Canada, because I think we need a leader who can re-earn the support of rural Canadians and our agricultural and farming communities. But I'm also the kid of immigrant parents. My dad was a Chinese immigrant who came here from Hong Kong in 1952, and my mom was a Dutch immigrant, and she came here in the 1960s. And I tell you that because I think the next leader of our party needs to be able to re-earn the support of immigrant communities that we lost in the last election. You know, I tell people this statistic, I think it's something we can be all very proud of as Canadians, because it demonstrates the diversity and the vitality of a very new Canada. 40% of Canadians are foreign-born or born to a parent who is foreign-born. That's an astounding figure. 4 out of 10 Canadians was either born abroad or born to a parent who was born abroad. That's an incredibly big number of Canadians. And the next leader of the party needs to be able to understand the challenges of the immigrant experience, and needs to be able to re-earn the support of millions of Canadians who came here in recent decades. I'm also somebody who worked in the private sector, and I worked on Bay Street for the better part of 10 years. I became head of IT for Research Capital Corporation, which is an investment bank. And after that, I was the Chief Information Officer for the National Hockey League Players Association. So I understand the value of a dollar and how important it is that governments spend those taxpayer dollars wisely. Et je parle français. Et je comprends que nous sommes maintenant dans un endroit où il y a beaucoup de citoyens qui parlent chinois, mais je pense que c'est absolument obligatoire dans notre pays pour le chef du Parti conservateur de parler français. It's really important that the next leader speak French. We live in a country where 25% of Canadians speak French as their first mother tongue. And 100 ridings in this country are ridings where francophones determine the outcome of the results. And so we need a leader who can communicate in Canada's 2 official languages, English and French. And I'm also somebody who has 13 years of parliamentary experience. Like some of my colleagues here in the leadership race, Deepak O'Brien, Aaron O'Toole, also have many years of parliamentary experience. But I think it's important that that counts for something, and that we have a leader that can understand that and can bring that to the table. Rick Peterson brings private sector experience to the table, and lots of it, and we need that as well. I'm in this leadership race because I want to build a much bigger Conservative Party. I want to build a party that includes Canadians of all backgrounds, all races, all religions, all origins, all creeds. A party that is focused on including everybody in this country, and a party that is committed to creating opportunity for everyone, greater opportunity, greater economic opportunity, greater opportunity to participate in our democratic institutions, greater opportunity to participate in Canadian society. And that's my vision for Canada, of a generous country, a generous Conservative Party, an optimistic conservatism that plays to the best of the Canadian Conservative tradition. You know, I'm a conservative of the Brian Mulroney conservatism. I'm a conservative like Bill Davis was a conservative that believes in inclusion, but a conservative that also wants to create opportunity for everyone, and a conservative that most importantly is optimistic about the future of this country and the talents that Canadians bring to the table. So if you believe in my vision of the country, where Canadians from all around the world come to live, a country where your children and your grandchildren have an opportunity to live a full life and to participate in all areas of our country's life, in academia, in business, in the private sector, in the public sector, and yes, in politics. Join my campaign and support us. We'd welcome your support. You can get in touch with us at chong.ca. And here's my commitment to you, and I'll finish with this. If you join my campaign and support me as Conservative Party leader, and I become the leader of this great national institution, together we will build a much bigger coalition, and we will take on Justin Trudeau's Liberals, and we will win in 2019. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
That's actually, I think, one of the big existential questions facing the party. This year, for the first time, the number of millennials surpassed the number of seniors in Canada. And so that means in the next election there will be more millennial voters than there will be senior voters. And so we as a party have to deal with this challenge. Because in the last election, for every 100 millennial voters, only about 1 in 5 voted for us, and the rest, the 8 out of 10, voted for either the Liberal or the Democratic parties, and predominantly for the Liberals. So we have to fix this problem, or we are not going to ever form a government. And in my view, it involves doing 2 things. One on policy, one on operations. On the operations, I think we should go to free membership. I think the day and age of political parties continuing to charge a $15 per year fee to join and rejoin a political party are over. I think political parties that continue to charge a fee to join and continue to force people to take out their credit card or checkbook to join are not going to be around in 10, 15 years. You know, we live in the age of Facebook, Twitter, Gmail. These are some of the largest corporations in the world, and they all understand that free membership pays long-term dividends, because what you're acquiring is a relationship, a long-term relationship, that in the long run will produce a donation if you tend to it. So that's the first thing we need to do. Make it easy to join online and eliminate the membership fees. That will create a permanent list of hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million Conservative Party members that will form our new base and our new coalition. The second thing involves policy. I think we should present our strength in the next election. And what is our strength also happens to be the Liberal Party's weakness. Our strength is on the economy, on creating jobs and creating economic growth and prosperity. That is the Conservative brand's strength. It also happens to be the Liberal Party's weakness. So we need to focus on creating economic growth and creating jobs for Canadians, particularly for millennials, and not on issues that are divisive and that pit one Canadian against another. I also think we need to do better on environmental policy. Millennials care about environmental policy. I think we need to have credible policies on the environment going into the next election. Finally, in general, we have to adopt a much more open and democratic style as a party and as a government. I think the day and age of having a very top-down hierarchical structure of our party and of the way we run our operations is over. Younger voters are not going to join a party where everything's dictated from on high. They want flatter, more grassroots-based organizations where they feel they can have meaningful input. So being more open and democratic in policy and in action is another critical component of the piece. So that's my view on what we need to do to build a much bigger party and to attract younger voters to our party. On what Aaron said, you know, the problem here is that the Prime Minister acted very irresponsibly. All the people crossing the border illegally in Emerson, Manitoba and in Quebec are actually going to be deported back to the United States. 99.9% of them are going to go through the asylum process where they are adjudicated whether or not they can stay in Canada and seek asylum. And 99% of them are going to be denied asylum. And they will be deported back to the United States. And so this all came a result of an irresponsible tweet that the Prime Minister tweeted out about 2 months ago in the aftermath of the decision by then President Trump to ban immigration and refugees, still President Trump, to ban immigration and refugees from 7 majority Muslim countries. The Prime Minister tweeted something out and implied that anybody could cross the border and stay in Canada. That is not the law today. And that irresponsible tweet is what encouraged many people to cross that border and attempt to come to Canada. And it's not fair to those people crossing the border because many of them are risking life and limb and getting severe frostbite and putting their physical health in danger by doing that. And so what the Prime Minister needs to do is he needs to issue a second tweet clarifying that everybody who crosses the border illegally will be go through the current process. And here's the current process. They are arrested by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. They are handcuffed. They are taken to the nearest Canada Border Services Agency processing center. They are fingerprinted and their biometrics are taken and they enter the process for claiming asylum. He needs to indicate that in a tweet and not give these folks false hope and ensure that the integrity of our immigration refugee system is maintained.